All right, hey everyone, we're back for another episode of my bariatric journey. I'm Miranda, and today we're actually going to be making more cookies. I'm very excited about this. I scoured the internet looking for sugar-free, fat-free, gluten-free, everything-free cookies. I couldn't find them. They don't exist. They don't taste good, whatever. So I saw a couple different recipes that I really liked. My favorite one is actually chocolate-covered Katie. So it's on chocolatecoveredkatie.com is the original recipe. I have made changes to it to try and improve the texture and taste. I'm hoping it'll be better the way I make it, but we'll see. So we're going to try chocolate chip cookies. I'm very, very excited about this. I love cookies. I'm sure everybody likes cookies. They're wonderful. Obviously, they aren't going to be something you can eat every single day at every single meal. It's not practical. It's not good for you. But on your bariatric journey, you want that little cookie craving covered. This is going to do the trick, I hope. So we're going to work on these cookies together today. I'm really excited about it. I have my friend Kayla here with me today. She's wonderful, and she's been helping with production today. She is a photographer, a wonderful photographer on Instagram. You can probably find her. I'll link her down below. Any kind of cookies you guys want to see, any cookies you prefer that you love to see in a recipe, I would love to try all different kinds of cookies. So please comment down below. Let me know all your cookie fantasies, because cookies is just where I'm at right now. I'm just in a cookie mood. So we're going to go ahead and make chocolate chip cookies. For these cookies, the original recipe calls for just oat flour. What I've actually done is I've taken some oats that I had, some steel cut oats, and I've just blended them in my blender for my oat flour. But I'm not exclusively going to use oat flour. The original recipe calls for just oat flour. I'm actually going to have oat flour and almond flour, and I'm going to half and half it. So I'm going to try it with the almond flour for more for the flavor than anything, and the oat flour. Not a big fan of oaty. Like, I love oatmeal, but that's different. I'm not a big fan of oat cookies. I don't know about the rest of you, like raisin cookies. What are those called? Oatmeal raisin cookies. I totally forgot what they're called. That's like my husband. Oatmeal raisin cookies. I hate them. I just don't like the oat in cookie. So I'm going to do half oat flour and half almond flour, and we'll see how that works. And then for the sugar, I'm using, of course, my favorite, use it every time, the Splenda brown sugar blend. So it has half the calories and half the sugar of regular sugar. So that's going to be good. And this recipe has minimal sugar in it, which is very happening. We have some vanilla, some skim milk powder, some chocolate chips. I actually have fancy chocolate chips today. These are Lily's dark chocolate baking chips. They are made with stevia. They're stevia sweetened for, again, less sugar in the cookie. You can get these on Amazon. I will put the link to the purchase of these down below. You can also get them at a lot of different grocery stores, but especially where I live, they didn't have them. I had to order them off Amazon. So. And then there is a little bit of oil in this recipe as well. So I have some vegetable oil for the recipe. So the recipe is a little bit more fatty than, say, my peanut butter cookie recipe, but it's very minimal oil as well. So hopefully that will be good. Again, I'll have the nutrition in my blog post. Check out my blog, check out my Instagram, check out my Twitter, and follow me everywhere. So remember to subscribe and follow and all that stuff. So let's go ahead and get these baked. So again, these were with chocolate covered Katie, and the original recipe as said 2/3 of a cup plus half a cup of oat flour. I'm not sure why it says 2/3 plus half, but I'm going to go and do it that way. And I'm going to use the 1/3 measure. And first I'm going to do 1/3 of a cup of the oat flour. And again, this is just ground up oats. I made my own oat flour. I didn't go out and buy it. I couldn't have found it anywhere to save my life anyway. So, and then I'm also going to do 1/3 of a cup. So the other half of almond flour, which is basically just ground almonds. Even if you read the ingredients on this, it just says almonds. So, and then it says also half a cup. So it says 1/3 of a cup plus a half a cup of flour. So I'm going to do, again, we're going to split it in half. So another quarter of a cup of oat flour and another quarter of a cup of the almond flour. And there we go. That's our flours. Now the next thing it says is salt. So I need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, which is of course the one thing I didn't have with me. So let me just grab the salt over here. There it is. Sorry about that, guys. We'll probably cut that little part out there. So we'll do a 1/4 teaspoon of just regular table salt. That's all the salt in the whole recipe. So again, minimal salt. Then we're going to do 1/2 cup of the brown sugar blend. With the brown sugar blend, I like to use a spoon to get it out of here and push it into the cup measure. Because if I try to put a spoon in here, I just end up making the whole cup measure in there. I just make a mess. So I'm just going to push that right into the 1/2 cup measure. And there we go, 1/2 cup of brown sugar blend. Okay, now this is basically all the dry ingredients. So we're just going to go ahead and give those a good mix. Them all together. So we don't have any clumps or chunks. If you need to, if you see it, like the almond flour especially really likes to clump up, you can just go in there with your hands and break up any large clumps. It's not a big deal. It's your cookies. They're your hands. I'm sure you washed them before you started baking. At least I hope you washed them before you start baking. I'd be a little worried otherwise. So there's that. Now we're going to add 1 teaspoon of the pure vanilla extract, which is what I have. Mine came from Mexico. You can get yours wherever you'd like to go to get it. Make sure it's the pure vanilla extract, or this one actually says concentrate. I just think that's how they say it in Mexico, but it's the same thing. 1 teaspoon of that. And then 2 tablespoons of the vegetable oil. So I said this is a bit fattier than other recipes I've made, but that is okay. This isn't going to be an everyday eat. It's definitely for treat time. 1 tablespoon. 2 tablespoons. Now it calls for 3 to 5 tablespoons of milk. And as you might have noticed from my other recipes, I love to add extra protein. So I'm actually going to put a tablespoon of skim milk powder in here first as a powder. And then I will add my milk. So just for that extra protein in the recipe, as I like to do. And now I'm going to grab my stand mixer. Open it up here. Place my bowl in. Okay, and what we're going to do is probably have the volume down here for a couple minutes because I'm going to turn on the stand mixer and I'm going to stream in the 3 to 5 tablespoons of milk until it looks like the right consistency for cookie dough. So that's what we're doing, is we're trying to get the right consistency for cookie dough here. So, and I'm using skim milk, no fatted milk at all. That's 1 tablespoon. 2 tablespoons. No eggs at all in this recipe, which is kind of neat. Although I do like the protein eggs give. See how well that already looks like cookie dough right there at 3 tablespoons. I think that's actually perfect. 3 tablespoons of the cookie dough. Oh my goodness. Of the milk seems to be the perfect amount. This also called for baking soda, which I totally missed. Thank goodness I just noticed that. One moment, I'll grab baking soda here. Probably cut that part out too. So this is just me forgetting stuff, but we need 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. This is 1/2 teaspoon. Just have regular everyday Arm & Hammer baking soda here. Add that in. We're We're going to see if this does anything, like has any problems with adding the baking soda. Maybe we need to add more milk. Let's see how that goes. I think I might do 1 more tablespoon of milk here. Maybe half a tablespoon. Oh yeah, that looks really good. Oh, does that ever look delicious? It looks and smells just like cookie dough smells. I mean, I don't see a big difference between this and regular cookie dough. So at this point is when you would add in your chocolate chips. You can also, if you'd like to, add nuts in. Now remember, your nuts are going to add calories to your recipe, so you might want to Google, you know, how many calories nuts will add before you do that. But go ahead and add walnuts or macadamia nuts. Oh, macadamia nuts would be delicious in this. I don't have any because they're super expensive. Or pecans, any nuts you might prefer in here. And you can do that. But I'm just going to go with chocolate chips. And this actually calls for 1/3 of a cup of chocolate chips. Let me grab those. Grab some chocolate chips here. There we go. And I'll just take it off here so I can mix it better. Out of the way. All right, so now we just add in our nuts and chips. And there you go, chocolate chip cookie dough. This should make approximately 20 cookies. They're smaller cookies, but they're not tiny. They're a good sized cookie with a good amount of chocolate chips in them. So let's go ahead and portion these out. Now these are going to go in a 380-degree oven for 7 to 10 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and drop these out. I have my prepared baking dish here with some parchment paper, and I have my cookie dropper. Love my cookie dropper. Even if you're not on a bariatric diet, I mean, everyone's always looking for a way to get some sweets into their diet without compromising on, you know, calories and all that sort of thing. So hopefully these cookies work for pretty much anyone. Want to leave a bit of room between them. Do you think I can get another row on there? No, I don't think so. So there's a few left, but I'm not going to get another row on here. But there is quite a bit left, as you can see. This will definitely make 20 cookies. All right, so I've already preheated my oven to 380 degrees, and these are going to bake for 7 to 10 minutes. I'm going to actually set my timer for 6 minutes, just in case, so that I can check them, because I'm not sure how they're going to bake. I've never made these before, so let's see. See you guys in a few minutes. All right, everyone, I hope you got a good look at my butt there. Here we go. So these are what they look like. Oh, goodness only knows. They're kind of flattened out. It did say that. It said that your climate will play a huge role in whether they'll puff up or flatten down. I've known a lot of great chocolate cookies that were pretty flat, so I'm not too worried about the flatness. We're going to let these cool for 10 minutes. I'm just going to move them right over here to this cooling rack. We're going to let that cool for 10 minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and try one and see what they taste like. See you guys in 10. All right, guys. Here we are. We're just going to see how these taste. I'm just going to grab a knife here to kind of cut them apart. They did spread out quite a bit. Again, the recipe, the original recipe, I did change it a bit, so it could be because I changed it, but the original recipe did say depending on your climate, they could spread a lot. So these did spread quite a bit. They still look like cookies, though. I've seen cookies this thin before. They smell like cookies. Let's taste them. Ooh, they look all gooey. Gooey's a good thing for cookies. Oh, that's heaven. They don't taste like your standard peanut butter cookies, don't get me wrong. But they're good. I could eat this whole thing. That's dangerous. Well, there you have it. Recipe for these cookies. Again, you can use any flour you want. You can use coconut flour. You can use the oat flour, the almond flour. It seems it doesn't matter what flour you use. I used half oat, half almond. But again, whatever you'd like to use. And they're good. They're very, 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 very good. Thanks so much for joining me this week, and I'll see you next time. Have a great evening, guys. Mwah. So good. Oh my God. I'm gonna have it. You want one?